Hi, I'm sitting here with Joby Horrigan. How are you, Joby?
I'm great, Brad. How are you?
I am good, as well as I can be,
Yes, exactly.
stuck inside, but it's reading Facebook and seeing people that are inspiring me like you is what's getting me through this. And you recently posted about you making masks for the hospitals and sending them out, which is amazing. So
Yep.
tell me, how did this start?
So I live in Teaneck, New Jersey, which I don't know if you know there in New York, but Teaneck in New Jersey has been a hot spot. You know,
Mm,
like New York City is for the country and for New York State, Teaneck and Bergen County in general, but Teaneck in particular has been a hot spot for the coronavirus. And we have two local, very close to where I live, hospitals: Holy Name, which is in Teaneck, and then Hackensack, which is just across the river. Really, this came about. I had, when everything happened and Broadway shut down, I had really thought to myself, with so many of the costume shops and the businesses that are, directly related to Broadway, there's got to be some way with these shortages that they can help. And I had spoken initially with Bruce and Sarah Barish, who run Windsor Dry Cleaners. That's the Broadway dry cleaners. They had called me saying, we're trying to, we have sewing machines and we have trucks and we're trying to, so there was Broadway people trying to, find a way to take up the call that Governor Cuomo had said about, other industries switching over and making masks and gowns. And then unrelated for me, is this amazing woman who was one of my daughter's high school drama teachers at Bergen Academies, which is right here in Hackensack, not far from where we live. She sort of saw some other posts, and on Facebook, the two of us, she said, we're getting together this thing where we're making masks. She has a lot of connections with people that have sewn costumes for her productions at the high school, that kind of thing. And they basically just were like, how can we use all these people that have this skill, people that have sewing machines at home that normally do this for a living or can make these masks? And she, because Teaneck was a hotspot, had called, I believe the story is that she had directly called Holy Name and said, what can we do? And they said, these specific masks, which I'm making, are helpful. They obviously are not what is it, the N95 or whatever, the mask that everybody wants,
right.
but that there's a shortage of. But the nurses and the people at the hospital were saying, we can use these cloth ones to cover and extend the life. It's helpful, these cloth masks. So she spearheaded this whole thing, and it's Bergen Mask Task Force. It's on Facebook. People should like it. This amazing woman, Victoria Perot, that I know, who was my daughter's teacher, and a couple other people just put this whole thing together, and I started making for them. She's got on the website, she's got very specific instructions, and she's a great teacher because that's what she does.
Right.
So the instructions are really great. Even if you're just a, home sewer, you really can achieve this. And then she has just called people saying, even if you can't sew, if you have cotton fabric or 1/4 inch elastic or wire, the supplies that we need to make them, drop them on her front porch, and everybody come by and grab what you need and just start making things. So that she's really the genius
Oh,
that has made this happen.
that is wonderful. Do you have any samples that you could show me?
Yeah, I just honestly just dropped off 45 at her house and picked up more. Like, I have all of this fabulous fabric I just picked up, and all this elastic, which is like impossible to get, where like people are, donating things, and wire. But so I did hold back one. Here's a cute one. It's got puppy paw prints on it.
Oh, cute.
I know. And she was really great because she made some, and then she worked directly with the people at the hospital, and they said, this is great, but can you make the elastics a little longer? And So we adjusted that, and she said, and can they make a little, I don't know if you can see it, but there's like a little pleat at the bottom half. And that makes it cup under the chin and hold on under the chin better. And then we are putting wire on the top half here, you can see, so that it really fits, like, right around the nose.
Yeah.
So they're not the most complicated thing in the world, but they're a little more specific than maybe some of the other ones out there because of the wire inside. But really, it's a rectangle of, fabric, double, two pieces together. And for me, it's just been a joy because, this is the first time since I left college that, I haven't had a job of some kind where, you go to work. That's what we do. We do our jobs, and to be home and have no purpose has been the hardest part in a lot of ways for me, other than obviously the loss of my job and our industry being so ravaged.
Because you were working on Mean Girls, correct?
Right. So I'm the assistant wardrobe supervisor at Mean Girls. And I have sewing skills. And so this has been so great to have this purpose. There are so many people, like for you, for a lot of the actors, like I watched the Rosie thing and I thought that was so amazing. Like, actors have been going on and fundraising, which is amazing, but who's going to necessarily give me any money? But I have it. My skill is that I can make stuff. So the fact that that this wonderful woman, Victoria, set this up, and that and I know now that, like, Windsor Dry Cleaners, they're working with, it's a studio. I can't think of the name of it. I know that there's a bunch of them that have called together, and they're now making gowns and masks. A lot of the Broadway businesses are doing that on a bigger scale than we are. But I just feel good because it's my local hospital. I mean, I just found out yesterday, I know somebody who's in intensive care there. So, every day I'm happy to have the purpose, because otherwise I feel like I'd be so angry right now.
Yes.
So at least I feel like, okay, let me channel this into something that hopefully is helpful. And now I guess the CDC just said they're recommending that everybody wear these cloth masks. And so I don't know if that's true, but I'll keep making them if anybody wants them other than the hospital.
Yes.
I just feel like if it helps even a little bit, and then I don't get angry at, the people across the country that maybe don't seem to be taking this as seriously as, I want to say, look, every day I learn of somebody else I know that has it and is struggling. And it's, it's just no joke. So if me going out and I have the mask on, it's not so much from protecting me from somebody else, it's protecting them from me. Like, if it helps a little bit to contain, if I have it and I happen to cough because it's allergy season, or sneeze or whatever, that this will contain it in some way and not get somebody else sick if I'm at the grocery store or whatever.
Yeah, no, it's so true. And it's so inspiring that people like you are being called to action because of your own willpower, your own strength.
Well, I don't, it's funny. I'm just, like I said, I'm just really, 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 really glad to have a purpose. And also maybe just put it out there and posting all this so that that people that I'm friends with on Facebook can realize, like, you see a news thing, or you live halfway across the country and you think, well, that's not me, or it's no big, like, if this reaches somebody that I know that hasn't been touched by this yet, and they can see this is for real and it's no joke.
Yeah.
That makes me feel better too. Not to mention the fact that, there are photos of, people in hospitals wearing these, and it seems to be helping. So those are the people that, oh my God.
Yeah.
The hospital workers,
Well, I'm so glad you're doing this. You know, you're inspiring me, and
Oh, good. Do you know? I'll teach you how to sew, Brad. You can make some too.
oh, I know. I wish I had a so. I wish I had a sewing machine.
If
I,
I had an extra one, I would give it to you.
oh well, thank you very much. Well, I know a couple of personal friends that are doing it too, so
Good.
I'm gonna have them do some little interviews because it's just
Hey, definitely, and you're doing just spreading the word. It's a really good thing. I feel like that's the sort of amazing thing about all of this is what you see is what people really are capable of
right.
too, and how we do all pull together. We all, whether you're in theater or whatever you're.
It's people that I'm surrounded by that are making me proud during this craziness.
Complete, me too. Complete. Like I said, this woman, Victoria is just like what she has put together. It's amazing. Jeannie Naughton, you know Jeannie Naughton, don't you?
Oh, yes.
Dresser, she knows Victoria. She's doing it too. She's got her daughter helping.
So great.
Yeah, it's awesome.
All right. Well, thank you so much for doing this. You
You
know,
bet.